When you place your drawing next to a master's work, there is often this intimidating valley of a gap in skill, impact, and that mesmerizing artistic effect. So you try harder. You copy, you improve a bit, but then you hit a wall and you don't know how to move past it. And that's where doubt quietly creeps in. This does not happen because you lack any talent. It happens because most of us are taught to learn art without a map. Great artists were not magically better. They simply moved through clear milestones of growth. Those milestones which you and I were rarely taught. So, in this video, I will share 3 key milestones which every artist goes through as they grow. As you will listen, try to recognize where you are at in your art journey. So, without wasting time, let's begin. Hi, I am Parul, founder of Restart Art. I have a master's in fine art from Chelsea College of Art, London, and over a decade of creative industry experience. I help you to rekindle your creativity and confidently step into the artist you know you are. Not by copying pretty pictures, but by awakening your creative intelligence which you already possess. So, whether you are a beginner or somebody returning to art after a long gap, this video is for you. First things first, can you answer any of these questions right now? What stage of artistic growth are you in? Which art practices are actually harming your growth? And which exact practices would help you unlock your next level? If these questions feel blurry, it is because most of us are taught to learn art without a map. And when you don't know where you are in your journey, even sincere practice can feel confusing. So now let's look at those 3 key milestones of this art map. Milestone 1, learning the language. This is where almost every artist begins. You are drawn to what meets the eye. Beautiful drawings, confident brushstrokes, striking styles, so on. So you observe, you copy, you repeat. If you are at this stage, you might recognize this. You follow tutorials, recreate artworks, and still feel as if something is missing. By the way, that's normal. Even Pablo Picasso began here. As a teenager, Picasso produced highly classical academic drawings, accurate anatomy, disciplined observations, solid technique. Before he could come up with his unique signature style and bend form or express deeper ideas, he first learned the language of seeing. The mistake at this milestone we make is to try to be original too early, which makes you feel frustrated, compare yourself constantly, and doubt your ability. What actually helps is to train yourself to draw what you see, not what you know. This kind of observation is foundational. Then you can focus on progress over perfection. Even 1% of improvement compounds faster than forced brilliance. At this stage, don't worry about things like style or originality or meaning. After a lot of practice, when copying starts to feel limiting and you want to taste something different, that's a signal. Signal that you're ready to move to next milestone. If this way of understanding art resonates with you, I think you will really like my newsletters. There I share deeper insights, creative prompts, what's latest at Restart Art, and much more. If you're interested, you can sign up for the free newsletters through the link provided in the description box below. Now let's continue. Milestone 2, finding your voice. At this stage, technique becomes fluent enough to make room for expression. Just like how we want to test how fast we can go after learning how we can walk, in the same way, you start to push at your art skills. Your art now starts to carry things like emotions, memory, lived experiences. This is where art becomes internal journaling. And something powerful happens here. You release subconscious weight. You express what words just can't express. You feel lighter, even if the work feels messy. This is exactly why making art can feel therapeutic, even when the artwork in itself is not perfect. And that is what exactly happened during Picasso's blue period. Personal loss and hardships pushed him to use art to process grief, isolation, and social suffering. Here's the trap of this milestone we can unknowingly walk into. Well, we can stay inside our personal story without deeper inquiry. If you are here, focus on things like emotional honesty, letting experience enter your artworks, allowing inconsistencies. Don't worry about things like polish or signature style, whether other people get it or not. Whenever you feel stuck, ask yourself this: am I trying to solve a later milestone problem with an earlier milestone level practice? Speaking from first-hand experience, that one question alone can save years of frustration. As you will practice this way, eventually your art will start to blend into deeper realms of expression, which will take you to the next milestone. Milestone 3. Discovering your truth. Here, art moves beyond skill and storytelling. Unintentional patterns begin to emerge. Things like certain colors keep returning. Certain themes just will not leave you alone. Certain creative questions keep on persisting for an answer from you. Art becomes a way of thinking, a way of making sense of the world both inside and outside of you. Picasso's move into Cubism was not some kind of rebellion. It came from a deep inquiry. As per his perspective, reality cannot be understood from a single point of view. So, he did not stop at what his eye saw and started painting what he knew, capturing his subject through multiple perspectives at once. If you are at this stage of art learning, instead of focusing on things like trends or people pleasing or justifying what your work stands for, try exploring these aspects. What personal symbolism is trying to emerge from your artworks? What kind of philosophical or spiritual or social inquiry your art is trying to make? Is there any repeating pattern or style or theme trying to come up again and again to guide you further? The biggest trap of this milestone is confusing obscurity with depth. On purpose done randomness, awkwardness, or just being bizarre are not the leading factors of how good an artwork is. Like how we look and behave is subconsciously decided by who we are deep within. In the same way, art and its various styles come out of that deep internal state. As you can tell, this stage is quite a deep state of being. It gets as deep as you participate and explore life. It keeps unfolding as you unfold. As you keep maturing in this way, making art stops being an act of creation and goes into embodiment. This is where artists who are considered the masters operate from. For you and I, it's a beautiful journey ahead. And the best part is we can mold it our way, through our own perspective, through our own lens, through our own uniqueness. Art making is about celebrating your uniqueness, not whitewashing your creativity by saying this is how it is done. At Restart Art, we learn art this way. I share all that I've learned in my art training as well as the experiential knowledge I've gained in my newsletters. There, I'll also share about my upcoming drawing course, which is perfect for you if you are a beginner or are returning to art after a long gap. The link to join the free newsletters is in the description box below. Until we meet next, boldly step into the artist you know you are. Restart art. It's good for you.